Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and today we're going to do another fun painting. So let's get started. We'll start off today with a 2-inch brush and just a little bit of blue. And let's come right up here to the top and just drop in a soft little sky. Not too much blue, because I think we're going to have some clouds today. In fact, I think we're going to have some big clouds. So I really don't want to cover up the whole sky with blue. Want to leave some room. All right, that's probably good enough. Now with a clean 2-inch brush, we can blend out this blue just a little bit. Not too much. We just want to make it a little bit softer. Then blend lightly across. Now without cleaning that brush, we'll go through just a little bit of red. Now we had blue on there from before, so we get a kind of a nice purple color. And we'll use that for the shadow part of our clouds. Now I'm just using the corner of this 2-inch brush. I'm swirling these clouds in. This is just the shadow part. We're going to come back and add some highlight. Next, we'll pull a 1-inch brush through some white paint. And let's go ahead and begin shaping the highlights on these clouds. Now I added just the speck of orange to that brush, so it's not pure white. If you add too much, probably won't work well with this blue. I bet you'll get kind of a green color. So a tiniest little, just a drop of the orange just keeps it from being pure white. Pure white's okay. I just want something a little different today. With a clean 2-inch brush, we can begin blending this cloud. Now I'm using tiny, tiny circles. I'm just trying to destroy the bottom edge of the highlight. Blend it right into the shadow. That's all. Just a quick little blend. Not a big deal. You don't want to overdo this. You can blend it to where it just mixes with all the colors, and pretty soon your sky is one color. It doesn't look as good. So you're going to have to stop before that happens. There, we'll just lift it right up. Grab it at the bottom, lift it up, then gently across. Now with the 1-inch brush, we'll go into just a little bit of black. This was the same brush that I was using to make the cloud highlights, so it was already dirty with white. That made that black lighter, so it's a very pale gray. I'm just tapping in a little, like a rolling hill in the background. That's all that is. Let's do another one. Reloaded with more color this time. In fact, there's green. Add green to it. We'll do another one. Now with the filbert brush, we can drop on just the indication of some trees that are growing back on this hill. I'm just using that brush to tap on a little bit of orange and mix the red and the yellow together. Now we'll tap the 1-inch brush through some blue and black, and a touch of green. And let's go ahead and think about some trees and just some things that are growing down here. This is just the dark color. We'll separate it from the mountain behind when we add highlights. For now, just put down a little bit of dark color. In fact, we're going to have a tree over there, so I'm not worried about that. Now we can begin tapping on just a little bit of highlight. Look at how that makes those trees stand out. They come forward when you put highlight on them like that. We don't need too much, just a little. Touch over here too. Now before we go too far, let's add in some water. Maybe back here, a little more blue in the water. But as we come forward, I'm going to add some brown, because my little creek today is not very deep. And when it's this close to us, we're going to see some of the dirt underneath the water. With a little bit of black and green, we can begin tapping in some land here, some grass. Right now, really, this is just the dark part. We'll turn it into a very bright, shining, kind of a grassy meadow in just a minute. Now with the fan brush, I think this would be a great time to drop in a couple of trees. These trees are not too dark. Don't make them too dark because they're pretty far away still. Pretty far away. And if you make them too dark, then they'll look too close too quickly. We'll save the darkest colors for the closer trees. Now with some yellow and white on the 2-inch brush, we can drop on just a little bit of highlight to this grass back here. Now there's a lot of white in this color, a lot of white. It makes it look pale, and that's good in the background. Try to keep your pale colors in the background. As you come forward, more yellows. Back to the fan brush, and let's make another evergreen tree. Look at how the color is a little bit darker. That'll make them look closer. Also, they're going to end down here, a little lower than the other ones. Go right over the grass. Push that grass field way back into the background. Reload. Bigger one right there. Now with the 2-inch brush and some yellow and green, let's begin tapping on the rest of the grass highlights. Now we'll start right here and begin working along this dark area. But we're going to I'm going to show you later, we're going to kind of melt those two together. Because to create distance, we want to have the really, really bright, vibrant colors here in the foreground. And we want it to get pale as we go back. There. We've got all these nice things happen. Don't cover up all your dark. Leave most of it. Darker down there toward the corner. A little on this side too. This side needs some highlights. Let all these highlights slope down toward the little creek here. Now I have just a little bit of brown, yellow, green, white, all sorts of colors. And I have this kind of a light golden brown color. I'm going to use that to just tap along here and indicate areas maybe where there's some dry grass. Now watch this. We're going to bring some of this back. So that'll tie the background in with the foreground. Melt the two together. Same over here. Now with just a little bit of brown on the knife, let's drop in the indication of some rocks. Now I'm using the small edge of the knife. I'm not using the big flat edge, but the tiny edge right there. And I'll be doing that so that I have a little more control. The rocks can be smaller, and I get to tell them exactly where to go. If you'd rather use the big edge, that's fine. With just a little bit of brown and white on the knife, we can begin just dropping a touch of highlight on these rocks. Not too much. Just enough to show some sunlight. Now with just a little bit of white on the fan brush, we can begin cleaning up this river. Put some white water in. There. This allows you to clean up the bottom of your rocks. You can even drag a little of the rock down into the water. Suggest a reflection. Pull it down. Then reload the brush and go across. With the fan brush and just a little bit of yellow and green, we can drop on some highlights to these evergreen trees. Just touch them lightly. Let the color come right off the brush. If it doesn't, then you can thin it down just a little bit, but not much. Now with just a little bit of brown and black on the knife, we can drop in a big tree. And I think the big tree should be right there. And let's let it stop somewhere around there. All right. That one was so easy. I think we need another one. Another big tree. Now with a little bit of brown and white, we can begin highlighting these trees. Decide where you want the light to come from, and just touch on that side. Look at this. All we have is just a few dark lines. And those few dark lines, they just push everything back. Once we turn them into trees, like I'm doing to this one, it'll be even better. That's what makes your paintings look so great, having layers in them. Try to work in as many layers as you can. Create a lot of depth, so they're interesting to look at. They just seem to go back forever. Now with the 1-inch brush, we can tap on some leaves to this tree. Don't want too much, because I like that background and I don't want to lose it. So I'll be kind of limited here with my leaves. With some yellow and green on the 1-inch brush, we can drop on some highlights. Just touch and tap and let these highlights come right off the brush. Now we can tap in just a couple of small bushes to finish off this painting. And maybe let's grab a script liner brush. Didn't have to even have much paint on it. And let's just pull up. Pull straight up. And we'll get some grass and other little details. All right, I think we're done. I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. Don't forget to check out my website and also my instructional DVDs. And thanks for watching.